The neon sign outside, Jake's Road Stop, flickered weakly in the night wind. Inside, Emma wiped the counter for the 5th time, glancing nervously at the clock. 11:58 p.m. Just 2 minutes left. The storm outside was roaring, lightning flashing across the empty highway. She was 19, a college dropout trying to save enough money to go back to school. The night shift wasn't glamorous, but it was quiet, and that's what she liked. Quiet meant safe. Or so she thought. At the far corner of the store, 3 men sat at a table near the back. Their leather jackets, patched with skulls and fire symbols, gave off a rough, intimidating aura. They were bikers, big and silent, drinking coffee that had long gone cold. They hadn't said much since they came in an hour ago, just nodded politely when she asked if they needed refills. She didn't know who they were, but there was something about them, something solid, protective. At exactly midnight, Emma went to lock the front doors. The rain poured harder, turning the parking lot into a mirror of rippling darkness. She sighed, thinking about the essay she'd never finished and the dream of being a nurse that felt so far away. As she turned off the neon, open, sign, the door rattled violently. 3 men stood outside. Their faces were hidden under soaked hoodies, their eyes mean and restless. "Hey sweetheart, we just need smokes," one slurred, grinning with a mouth full of gold teeth. "We're closed," Emma said firmly, locking the second bolt. The man slammed his palm against the glass. "You got a smart mouth for a cashier." She stepped back. The bikers in the corner noticed. One of them, a bearded man with a scar over his left eyebrow, lowered his cup slowly. Outside, the thugs circled the glass door like hyenas. One pulled out a metal rod, smashing it against the handle until it snapped. Emma gasped, backing away as the door creaked open. The alarm began to wail. "Now look what you made us do," the leader snarled, stepping inside. "We just wanted a smoke and some fun." Emma stumbled back, heart pounding. I already called the police. But she hadn't. Her trembling hand hovered over the counter phone. The men laughed. "We got time before they come." One of them grabbed a bag of chips, tore it open, and threw it on the floor. Another started pulling at the register. Emma tried to shout, but fear froze her throat. Then, from the back corner, came a deep, calm voice. "You boys sure you're in the right store?" The thugs turned. The bikers stood now, 3 of them, tall, built like walls, their shadows stretching across the floor. Their leader, the bearded man, took off his leather gloves. "Because last time someone messed with a friend of ours, he didn't walk out the same." The thugs hesitated, their confidence flickering. "Who the hell are you?" one barked. "Let's just say," the biker said, cracking his knuckles, "we hate bullies." Before Emma could blink, one of the thugs charged forward with the rod. The biker sidestepped effortlessly, twisting the man's wrist and sending him crashing into a shelf. The other 2 rushed forward, but the bikers were faster, methodical, controlled. Within seconds, the store was chaos, crashing glass, shouts, the thud of fists against flesh. Emma ducked behind the counter, tears in her eyes. The storm outside raged louder, lightning illuminating the mayhem. When it finally ended, the 3 thugs were groaning on the floor, clutching their ribs, their arrogance shattered. The bearded biker grabbed the phone from behind the counter and called the police himself. "You might wanna come quick. Got a mess for you to clean up." He turned to Emma, his voice soft now. "You okay, miss?" Emma nodded, her voice shaking. I thought I was alone." The man smiled faintly. "You never are. Not when good people are still around." When the sirens grew louder in the distance, the bikers stepped outside, blending into the storm. By the time the police arrived, they were gone. All that remained was the smell of rain and the faint echo of engines fading into the night. But that night changed Emma forever. Because heroes, she realized, don't always wear badges. They ride in leather and guard the quiet corners of a cruel world. A week passed. Emma returned to her shifts, a little braver, a little stronger. The town buzzed about the mystery bikers, who saved the cashier from the midnight assault. Some called them vigilantes, others angels. The police never found them, but Emma knew, they hadn't left for good. One evening, a man in a grey hoodie entered the store. He wasn't like the others, no threat in his step, no malice in his eyes. He placed a helmet on the counter, scratched with dust and storm marks. "Think this belongs to a friend of mine," he said, his voice steady. Emma froze. The logo on the helmet, a burning wheel with wings, was the same patch she'd seen that night. "Why, you know them?" she asked. He nodded. "Name's Mason. We ride together. The guys wanted to make sure you're okay." Emma smiled weakly. "I am. Because of you all. I don't know how to thank you." Mason's eyes softened. "Just live well. That's all the thanks we need." He slid a folded piece of paper across the counter. Inside was a small photo. 3 bikers standing beside their motorcycles, grinning at the sunset. On the back, scrawled in rough handwriting, "Courage is born in the dark. Never forget your light." That night, Emma pinned the photo behind the counter. It became her silent reminder that courage doesn't always roar. It sometimes wears leather, drinks cheap coffee, and waits quietly for the right moment to rise. Months rolled by, and the store became a place of stories. Travelers passing through would ask about the biker angels, and Emma would smile, telling only what needed to be told. The rest she kept in her heart. But fate wasn't done testing her courage. One evening, just before closing again, a group of new customers entered, 5 men, louder, meaner, trouble brewing in their laughter. Emma's stomach twisted. Memories flashed. The rod, the screams, the rain. "Hey sweetheart," one said mockingly. "Heard this place got a reputation for heroes. Where are they tonight?" Emma stood tall, her fear simmering into defiance. "You should leave. We're closing soon." They laughed, circling the aisles like predators. The leader leaned over the counter. "You think someone's gonna save you again?" For a moment, she felt that old fear claw back. But then, through the quiet hum of the lights, came a sound, a distant rumble, low and familiar. Engines. More than one. The thugs froze. The door swung open, and the night air carried in the growl of heavy bikes. 3 figures stepped in, helmets gleaming, jackets soaked with rain. The leader pulled off his helmet, revealing the same scarred face, now marked with a calm, dangerous smile. "Evening," he said. "Heard someone was bothering our friend." The air thickened with silence. The men who thought themselves wolves suddenly looked like lambs. One tried to speak, but the biker raised a hand. "You see, boys," he said slowly, "respect is free. Disrespect has a price." Without another word, the group bolted out into the rain, scrambling into their truck and speeding away. The bikers didn't follow. They just stood there, watching until the tail lights disappeared into the distance. Emma exhaled shakily. "You came back." The scarred biker nodded. "We never really left." He took out a small patch from his jacket, a black fabric with silver embroidery. "You earned this," he said, placing it on the counter. It read, "Honor rides with us." Emma's eyes filled with tears. "I don't deserve this." "You do," he said softly. "Because bravery isn't about fighting. It's about standing your ground when you're scared." They shared a quiet moment as thunder rumbled outside. Then, with a simple nod, the bikers turned, their boots echoing against the floor. Before leaving, Mason glanced back and said, "Keep that sign bright, kid. We'll be around." And with that, they roared into the night, engines thundering like a promise across the highway. Emma watched them disappear into the storm, her reflection glowing in the glass door. That night, she realized something beautiful. Protection, kindness, and courage still lived in unexpected hearts. Some heroes wore badges, but others wore helmets. So to everyone watching this story, remember, there's still light in this world. Sometimes it rides under the rain, waiting for the right moment to remind us we're not alone. If you believe in courage, in unseen heroes, and in kindness that still exists, subscribe now. Because every story we share keeps that light alive.